Hi, my name is Manfred Schoch, and today's talk is about mixed methods research. In previous talks, Hannah Gimpel presented a variety of different research methods used in information systems research. Julia Lanzel presented quantitative research, particularly structural equation modeling based on questionnaire data. And today we want to talk how one can enrich such quantitative dominant studies through qualitative data in a mixed methods research design. For that, we first turn to the question, what is mixed methods research? Well, to understand what mixed methods research is and when it is used, it is necessary to talk about theory development. And we've talked about theory development in previous videos. Here is a statement based on a paper from Shirley Greger. For theory development, it is recommended to begin with the research problem and research question. Then one determines an appropriate methodological approach for that problem given the current state of knowledge in the area. Now that is interesting. We start with the problem. We then determine an appropriate method. But when choosing the method, we need to think about what is the current state of knowledge in the area. This is because there are generally two types of research inquiries. First, there are exploratory research inquiries. Exploratory research inquiries aim at rich and detailed descriptions and understandings of complex phenomena. So, for example, you might have interview data, you might have talked to somebody for a long time with open-ended questions and you received a lot of input. Now that is rich and complex data, but at the same time you're only able to talk to a limited amount of people, so generalization is limited. This type of data, this type of research inquiry lends itself well to hypothesis or theory building. So in other words, to find out what might be new phenomena, new relationships between phenomena that haven't been previously thought about. And that is why exploratory research is good when there's not a lot of current state of knowledge in the area. The current state of knowledge in the area is rather low. That would be a good situation to use qualitative research. Now, secondly, there are confirmatory research inquiries. In confirmatory research, researchers ask questions that try to either confirm or falsify existing hypotheses through data analysis. And so they basically aim to assess a relationship between two variables. For confirmatory research, it is good to use a structured approach and close-ended questions. For example, questionnaire questions, right? Where you ask people about some very specific things, some very specific variables or phenomena that you want to evaluate their relationship. Because you're so structured, it is not possible to get any information about new phenomena. You're only asking those few close-ended questions. So a confirmatory research inquiry lends itself well to hypothesis testing. That would be something where quantitative research comes into play. And you need a little bit of knowledge about the different phenomena that might be at play to use quantitative or confirmatory research inquiries. So those are generally the two types of data, the two types of research inquiries. And mixed methods research now tries to combine those two. Let's take a look at different empirical research methods. Well, first of all, there are single method approaches. The first one would be qualitative research. We just heard about it. An example for qualitative research would be to conduct interviews and then to analyze it based on a grounded theory approach. Now, we haven't talked about grounded theory at length, but that would be an example. Something else would be quantitative research. Quantitative research could, for example, be based on survey data. You could analyze survey data using regression models or similar approaches. But there's also a second branch that I want to talk about. And those are the multi-method approaches. Now, amongst the multi-method approaches, there is multi-method research, which Venkatesh distinguishes from mixed methods research. And what he says is that multi-method approaches combine, for example, two different qualitative approaches. You could first analyze literature and then second analyze interview data, or collect and analyze interview data. And that would be two qualitative approaches combined into one, what we call research inquiry, to one study, you could probably say. And that would be a multi-method approach. But mixed methods approaches are the ones that he talks about in his two papers from 2013 and 2016, which are linked in the course description as readings. And mixed methods approaches are the approaches that combine both qualitative and quantitative data into one approach. Now, what's missing from answering the question what mixed methods research is a definition. Here is a definition from Venkatesh and colleagues. Mixed methods research is an approach that combines qualitative and quantitative research methods in the same research inquiry. Such work can help develop rich insights into phenomena that cannot be fully understood using only a quantitative or a qualitative method. So basically what he says is only use mixed methods research when a quantitative or qualitative approach alone is not sufficient to answer your research question. Now that sounds reasonable, but what are such instances? Well, let's look at the goal of mixed methods research. The goal is to discover substantive theory by allowing researchers to not only unearth components related to a phenomenon, but also to unveil interrelations among these components. So, to put it bluntly, he basically says, well, if 1 + 1 is greater than 2, then you have a reason for mixed methods research. In other words, it's not enough to just have qualitative and quantitative parts, but the combination of them needs to yield insights that you wouldn't be able to achieve if you had used both of those research questions without combining them. So, in this session, we focus on how to include qualitative data into research inquiries that are dominantly quantitative in nature. You've heard about quantitative research before, and we will think about ways of integrating qualitative data into such research inquiries.